To catch a massive fish weighing over 500 kilograms, these fishermen are ready to dive into an uncompromising battle. They use a 20-kilogram tuna as bait. One skilled person carefully threads a steel needle through the fish's eyes, then secures it tightly with a hook at its mouth. Everything is meticulously prepared before the bait is cast into the water. In less than a minute, the surface of the water erupted with massive splashes. A sailfish began thrashing violently, its strength so immense that it dragged the small boat forward. Waves crashed over the deck, giving everyone the feeling that the boat could sink at any moment. Yet, the fishermen refused to let go. The sailfish, also known as the marlin, is not only powerful, but also highly intelligent. It can unexpectedly counterattack, using its sharp, steel-hard bill to pierce the boat. Thus, catching a marlin requires patience and extreme caution. After 6 relentless hours of battling, it took 5 people to finally exhaust the fish and slowly pull it to the surface. When brought aboard, this marlin weighed about 500 kilograms, gigantic size and certainly the dream catch of any fisherman. Kurila had just cast his net onto the calm surface of the water. Suddenly, an unknown force seemed to have been provoked, causing the water to churn violently as massive waves surged forth. Witnessing the unexpected scene, Kurila's eyes widened, his heart pounding as he instinctively stepped back without thinking. The fishing net in his hands was being pulled strongly toward the distance by an immense force. Reflexively, Kurila gripped the rope tightly. His face clearly showed panic. A series of thoughts flashed through his mind. What kind of monster could create such a terrifying scene? When he regained his composure, Kurila realized the net had been dragged near the shore. Carefully, he began pulling it up, his heart racing with an ominous feeling. Just as he feared, the net he had relied on so much now had a large tear, caused by the mysterious underwater creature. Looking at the ruined net, his heart filled with regret and frustration. Unwilling to give up, Kurila took out a new net and cast it again in the spot where the massive creature had disappeared. Despite the lingering fear of the unseen monster, his stubbornness drove him to try once more. The net slowly sank, carrying Kurila's anticipation with it. Moments later, he began pulling the rope back in. As the net rose out of the water, Kurila's eyes widened in astonishment. Inside the net, it wasn't a monster at all, it was a turtle. Kurila froze in disbelief. He looked at the turtle, then at the previously torn net. Today had truly been an unlucky day. Not only had he lost a valuable net, but in the end, all he managed to catch was a tiny turtle. This is the most dangerous fishing scene I have ever witnessed. A young boy held a fishing net and cast it down into the canyon. As the lead sinker slowly sank, carefully climbed down the cliffside. The boy was clearly crazy about fishing. Jagged rock formations were everywhere, and a slight misstep could send him tumbling into a dangerous nest of rocks. Perhaps that's why he guessed this place was rarely visited by people. The resources here must be abundant. A structure extending from the cliff looked like a perfect hiding spot for fish. When he pulled the net back up, clear, heavy tug was felt. As expected, many fish gradually surfaced in the net, at least a dozen. However, with such rich resources, the boy was not satisfied. He moved upstream and threw another net into a spot where the water flowed faster and the river channel was narrower. If a big fish passed by, it wouldn't be able to escape this trap. And even if no fish came, he had another plan. The boy picked up a rock and threw it into the net, trying to stir up the water. A few minutes later, he slowly began pulling the net back up, but this time, his luck wasn't as good. The net held only 3 fish. Still, he managed to catch 2 more while pulling it up. Fortunately, at least the net wasn't empty. Oh.